are doing well. And let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover today. Let's cover the NBA playoffs first. We had some games last night. The Heat absolutely destroyed the 76ers 120-85. They won by 35 points. Jimmy Butler, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He had a nice game last night. Heat are up 3-2. They put Philly to the brink. And the Suns also won the blowout. They blew out the Dallas Mavericks 110-80 by 30 points. Devin Booker, 28 points, 7 rebounds. Luka, 28 points and 11 rebounds in the loss. I think both these series are over. I thought Heat would win probably about 6 games going in. When they went up 2-0, I thought the series was long over. Sixers didn't have Joel Embiid. They were going to have to, wean him back into the lineup. He wasn't going to be close to 100%. The first round he was battling the broken thumb. Now he's coming off an orbital fracture and a concussion. He's wearing the face mask. Harden hasn't showed up, although Harden did show up in Game 4. Didn't seem like he did too much in Game 5. So, but he absolutely destroying the Sixers. That series looks like it's over. And I thought Dallas would lose, but I thought it would be at least a 6-game series, if not 7. Dallas, I think, is a very good team. And, they were going to make it a series. They were going to come back after going down 2-0 to win the next 2. But they go back to Phoenix, and Phoenix just runs them out of the building. Suns win by 30. Luka needs some more help. I think Suns are going to win Game 6. I think Heat win Game 6 as well. As for tonight, we got the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics Game 5. That series is tied 2-2. That will be in Boston. Big game there. And that's at 7 o'clock on TNT. 9:30 on TNT, Warriors and Grizzlies. Game 5. Golden State leads the series 3-1. I don't see that series going past Game 6. Memphis had so many missed opportunities in that series. Draymond missed a lot of Game 1 because he got kicked out of the game and they couldn't capitalize. Even though they didn't have John Morant, throughout the year they didn't have John Morant time, and they still were able to play well. And Golden State did not play very well in Game 4, and they still couldn't take advantage of that. So I think Golden State could easily win Game 5. Maybe Memphis gets Game 5, but Ja looks like he's not going to play again. He has a bone bruise in his knee. May keep him out for the rest of the postseason. So I think Golden State might win in Game 5. I think that series goes 6 games now, which is a shame. I thought that would be a 7-game series. I actually thought Memphis was going to win that series. It appears Golden State's going to win at least 6, if not 5 games. So that's what we got for the NBA playoffs. Moving gears to the NHL playoffs. Last night, Hurricanes thrashed the Bruins 5-1. Seth Jarvis scored 2 goals. Hurricanes go up 3-2 in that series. Maple Leafs come from behind to beat the Lightning 4-3. They go up 3-2 in that series. Blues beat the Wild 5-2. In Game 5, they go up 3-2. The winner of that series will face the Colorado Avalanche in the second round. And the Los Angeles Kings beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-4 in overtime. Game winner was from Adrian Kempe. He had 2 goals in the game. Leon Draisaitl scored 2 goals in the third period to tie the game. One shorthanded and one on the power play. But Kings were able to hang on and win in overtime. Kings lead that series 3-2. As for tonight, Penguins and Rangers in Game 5. Penguins lead 3-1. So I'm hoping my Rangers can avoid elimination tonight. That's on ESPN at 7 o'clock. I'm not sure what the goal situation is for Pittsburgh. Rangers are sticking to Shurker, even though he's been pulled each of the last 2 games. Joe Gallant said, their head coach, said that he's the best goalie in the league. I'm going to stick with him, and you can't blame him. Alkin Georgiev hasn't had that good of a year anyway. There's been rumors that Game 5 is a target date for Penguins All-Star goalie Tristan Jarry to return. We'll see if it'll be Jarry or will be Louis Domingue, who has been the last for most of the series, honestly. He came in double overtime of Game 1, and he started every game since. Capitals and Panthers, Game 5. That series is tied 2-2. It's at 7:30 on ESPN2. And then we have Stars Flames at 9:30 on ESPN. That's Game 5 as well. That series is also tied 2-2. A lot of good series. Washington's looked a little bit better than Florida. I'm very surprised. We'll see where that goes. Dallas and Calgary's been pretty even match. I think Calgary will come out on top, but I might go 7. I thought the Rangers would win the series. I mean, I'm a big Ranger fan, but I thought they would win the series. but they're going to have a tough time, but we'll see what happens. Carolina and Boston. I thought Carolina would win in about 6 games. I really like Carolina. I could see them going to the Cup final. They won the first 2. Bruins won the next 2. But Carolina blew them out of the building last night. So we'll see what happens in Game 6. It's going to be tomorrow night. And Toronto looked like the better team. That being said, Toronto has blown so many games this year when they've had big leads in games. They've had blown so many series over the last bunch of years. I just don't know how we can trust them anymore. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Blues Wild. I think that's a 7-game series. I think it might be the best first round series. Blues Wild. I thought Minnesota would win the series, but Blues are up 3 games to 2 right now. We'll see what happens. The winner is going to face Colorado next round. I thought the Kings would beat the Oilers in 7 games. Earlier in the series, Edmonton was scoring goals on them left and right, and they're still scoring a lot of goals. I looked like they were overpowering them. And they went up 2 games to 1, but the Kings have won 2 in a row, and they've taken control of the series now, so we'll see. Like I said, I thought the Kings would win 7 at the beginning, because I just don't trust the Oilers to win a playoff series, and the Kings have a lot of playoff experience. Still a few guys that were on that Cup team, but at the beginning, Edmonton looked like they were going to almost blow them out of the water, but the Kings have now taken control, so we'll see where that series ends up going. Right, let's do some MLB. Let's look at some MLB scores. Scores from last night. Tigers shut out the Athletics 6-0. That was in the first game of the doubleheader. Second game, Oakland wins 4-1. So Oakland and Detroit split a doubleheader. Dodgers over the Pirates 11-1. Brewers over the Reds 5-4. Yankees over the Blue Jays 6-5. Aaron Judge walk-off through and homer. By the way, why was Jaime Garcia thrown out of the game in the 6th inning? He clearly did not mean to hit Josh Donaldson. There was no drama with hit by pitches like New York Mets have had in games here. That didn't make any sense. Mets beat the Nationals 4-2. Red Sox over the Braves 9-4. Astros over the Twins 5-0. Justin Verlander took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Orioles beat the Cardinals 5-3. Rangers beat the Royals 6-4. White Sox beat the Guardians 4-1. Angels shut out the Rays 12-0. What was his name? I think it was Reed Detmers. He threw a no-hitter in that game. A rookie. We had the Mariners over the Phillies 5-4. Diamondbacks over the Marlins 9-3. Padres over the Cubs 5-4. And the Giants over the Rockies 9-2. That's what we had last night. Today, Yankees right now lead the Blue Jays 5-2. In the top of the 7th, Pirates lead the Dodgers 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Reds lead the Brewers 8-4 in the bottom of the 5th. Guardians White Sox got postponed. We got Phillies and the Mariners at 3:40. Marlins Diamondbacks as well, 3:45. Rockies and Giants 4:10. Cubs and Padres 7:05. We got Mets Nationals 7:07. Rays Angels 7:10. Athletics and Tigers 7:20. Red Sox and Braves 7:40. Astros and Twins 7:45. Orioles and Cardinals and 8:05. Royals and Rangers. That's what we got for Major League Baseball. And we got some golf going on right now. As for the PGA Tour, actually it hasn't started yet. It starts Thursday. So tomorrow will be the Brian Nelson tournament. The AT&T Brian Nelson at TBC Craig Ranch in McKinney, Texas. That starts tomorrow. So take a look out for that. It appears that I believe Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are both listed to play in the PGA Championship. So we'll see where that goes. As for some coaching news, let's just recap the NBA. Mike Brown was hired by the Sacramento Kings a few days ago. He had a 4-year deal to take over the Sacramento Kings. On paper, that looks like a good hire. I just thought he was a decent coach. I thought he did a good job in Cleveland. He's been on Steve Kerr's staff for a while as his top assistant. So it is Sacramento, so Sacramento could, be impatient like they always are, and then fire him in 2 or 3 years. But if they do it the right way, finally, Mike Brown, I think, could be a good coach over there. Lakers are looking for a coach. They interviewed Mark Jackson, former Warriors coach, current ESPN analyst. If Quinn Snyder were to be let go in Utah, I know they'd be interested in him. We'll see where that goes. If you ask me, LeBron's the coach, but Lakers are looking for a new coach. Kings already filled their vacancy. Sure, the Hornets also looking for a new coach. as well. In the NHL, also the Islanders controversially fired Barry Trotz the other day. I talked about that yesterday. We'll see what they do. Detroit Red Wings also looking for a new coach. They fired Jeff Blashill. The Winnipeg Jets need a new coach. Paul Maurice stepped down earlier in the season. Vancouver Canucks have not announced whether or not Bruce Boudreau will be made the full-time coach. They played very well under him, though they did not make the playoffs. So we'll see where they go. So that's what we got going on for the NHL coaching carousel. When it comes to MLB, I think Reds could be making a move on their manager, David Bell. I don't think he's any good. His team's not that good, but they're 6-24? That's horrendous. That's just bad. We had some breaking news yesterday. Tom Brady, who of course retired, unretired, and now he's back. When he's done playing football, whenever that is, if he ever is, it seems like the guy just never wants to go away. He's going to sign a contract with Fox Sports to be their lead analyst. That will be a 10-year deal worth $375 million. I saw a stat earlier that Tom Brady has made, I think, like $303 million playing in his career, and he is arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL, and he has been playing for over 20 years. He's going to be 45 years old soon. And he has made less money over the last 20-plus years playing quarterback in the NFL at an extremely high level than he will over a 10-year period being some sort of analyst or announcer for Fox Sports. That's insane. $37.5 million a year to be some sort of analyst or announcer for Fox Sports. I don't even know if he's good at it. I mean, I don't think he knows the game, but is he good on TV? Is he have good enough personality? I don't know. We will see how that works out for Tom Brady, but he will not be going anywhere, it looks like. So he will make $375 million over 10 years to be an analyst for Fox Sports. That's just nuts. That is absolute nuts. That's what we got for NFL. We have training camps around the corner. May 15th, that's this Sunday. They will announce the schedule for the NFL. All the teams know who they'll be playing and whether they'll be home or away, but they don't know, what week they'll be playing, which teams. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to. I want to talk about some WWE. First, let's recap Raw from this week. Let's do the Raw results. We recently finished up WrestleMania Backlash. I don't know why it's called WrestleMania Backlash. They should just call it Backlash, but whatever. So we had a Raw Tag Team Championship match between RK Bro and Street Profits. RK Bro came out on top. In the beginning, RK Bro, mainly Randy Orton, was talking about how they wanted to have that match. He left the tag titles with the Usos to SmackDown tag titles. We thought we were going to have that Backlash. But then Roman Reigns came out, ripped up the contract on the SmackDown right before, and it ended up being a 6-man tag match with Drew McIntyre and RK Bro against the Bloodline, and Bloodline ended up winning. When the Street Profits then came out, they talked a little bit of trash, how they wanted to be the ones to unify the tag titles. So they had a match for the Raw Tag Team titles, but RK Bro came out on top. Then we had Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is the newest member of the Judgment Day with Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley, for her former tag team partner, Liv Morgan, they recently broke up, and Rhea Ripley dominated that match. She won, no problem, and after the match, she continued to attack Liv Morgan. They're all staring at Liv Morgan, Edge nodded his head. You're basically saying, go ahead and continue to beat her up, and Rhea Ripley did just that. We had Finn Balor versus Damian Priest in a match, and that match ended up in disqualification. Edge interfered in the match, but then AJ Styles and Finn Balor came out, and they tried, but then Rhea Ripley stood in front of AJ Styles when he went to punch Edge, and so he didn't want to punch Rhea Ripley, and then the Judgment Day continued their domination. That looks like a dominant faction. You got Edge, who's a Hall of Famer, still a rookie wrestler. You got Damian Priest, who's a great wrestler, and then you had Rhea Ripley. Good to see, a woman being a part of that, and she's a great wrestler. That's going to be a dominant unit, it looks like. Then we had Sonya Deville, who's like, the assistant, basically, to Adam Pearce, who runs wrestling. She's been an investigation into, her abuse of power, and right before her match, Adam Pearce says, hey, backstage when we were talking, well, I was trying to tell you before you ran off that the investigation has concluded, and you are no longer a WWE official. So now you are only a WWE superstar, and you are now going to fight Alexa Bliss. Return. Well, it was a very short match. Alexa Bliss cruised past Sonya Deville, who after the match had like a mental breakdown because she was, upset that she wasn't basically got fired from being a WWE official, so she can't use her power anymore. Now she's got demolished by Alexa Bliss, overcome promotion, and so tough day for Sonya Deville. Smooth Milk, are you saying Finn Balor's going to join the Judgment Day? Is that what you're saying? You want to comment on that? That'll be interesting because he's currently feuding against them. Perhaps. Got the winking emoji too in the chat here on Colorcast. Maybe Smooth Milk knows something that a lot of us don't know. Who knows? You never know. Maybe Smooth Milk will join the Judgment Day. We'll see. We also had Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Ezekiel was supposed to be like Elias. He's saying he's Ezekiel. Everyone's saying he's Ezekiel. Kevin Owens and his guys and Chad Gable and Otis are saying, he's lying. He's Elias. He just looks different with his hair and stuff. We had Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens came out, as his brother Ken Owens, just with like a wig, and Ezekiel pretended like, "Oh my God, you look just like your brother." And Kevin Owens like, "Dude, yeah, it's just me." And he just basically got 3-on-1, so that didn't really come of anything. We had Veer Mahan continue his dominance. He fought Frank Loman. So before the match, Veer's very scary, but I have to feel care for my family, so I have to do this. And Veer absolutely demolished him. He did not attack him after the match like he had been doing his other opponents, but he beat up some other no-name who no one has ever heard of. And he continues to dominate. They need to get this guy in the ring with like a real wrestler, because this guy is unstoppable right now. We had Theory defend his United States Championship against Cody Rhodes, and it was a really good match, but in the end, Seth Rollins interfered, so it was a disqualification. And he curb stomped him, through the announce table. He beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes said, before the match, he's looking to move on from Seth Rollins. I beat him twice, whatever, but clearly Seth Rollins is not done with Cody Rhodes. So at Hell in a Cell, my guess is we'll probably see those two guys in the match again. We got a tag team match, Naomi and Sasha Banks, who are the women tag team champions. They had a match against Doudrop and Nikki ASH, Nikki Cross. She goes Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, which I think is so dumb. But, Doudrop was dominating, and then Nikki tagged herself in, and she ended up losing and blowing it. And after the match, Doudrop was screaming at her, saying, you gotta start taking these things seriously. But Sasha Banks and Naomi won that tag team match. There's a lot of short matches on Raw this week. We had Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa. Ciampa has been randomly attacking Mustafa Ali for no reason. With The Miz as special guest referee, and The Miz was obviously very, very biased in the match, so obviously Mustafa Ali really had no shot, and Ciampa beat him. We had Asuka versus Bianca Belair in a women's match. Asuka just returned. Bianca Belair, the current Raw Women's Champ. Becky Lynch, who had been off television for a few weeks, had said that, she was complaining about how, she doesn't know what to do now because she's not the champion anymore. Of course, she lost to Bianca Belair. She lost her championship to her at WrestleMania. And Becky interfered in the match, beat them both up, so we'll see where that goes. You also had, Omos and Bobby Lashley had their feud continue. And it looks like this coming Monday, it's going to be Omos versus Bobby Lashley inside a steel cage, so MVP cannot get involved. I want to talk about one more thing. So Roman Reigns, of course, the Tribal Chief, he is the current, undisputed world champion. He's the WWE champion and the Universal champion right now. After he unified the titles, he won the match in the main event at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. He at a house show, after he was done wrestling, he addressed the crowd, and he was talking like real talk. So he just said the WWE programming is boring. Period. Yeah, it's lacking right now for sure. And he went, at his house show after, he basically said, I don't know if I'll ever be back here, so I just want to thank you all for the support. So it appears he may have been hinting that he may be leaving WWE eventually. The plan appears to be for Roman Reigns to fight The Rock. Of course, they're cousins. They've been building this for a long time now. They've been hinting at it for a couple of years on that, what's the stupid show? It's called Young Rock. It's supposed to be about The Rock's childhood, and they had was supposed to be Roman Reigns. He like, oh, I want to fight him WrestleMania. It's like hinted at on the TV show. So it appears that's what they want to do at WrestleMania. If Roman's going to leave in like a year, I don't think it makes a lot of sense personally to have him lose the belt to The Rock and have him like walk off into the sunset. Because what kind of run are you going to get from The Rock? I mean, he could, let's say he holds it for like a month or two, and then you have him lose it to whoever at like, I don't know, like maybe Backlash next year or something. I don't know. So I'm not sure if they're still planning to do that. Also, Roman Reigns has been the champ for like over 2 years. Like, he's taking a lot of punishment. How is he going to be able to go a whole another year? He may have to lose the title at some point before WrestleMania and maybe regain it back. I've talked about this on this show before. Maybe at SummerSlam he loses it. He loses it again. Maybe Brock Lesnar returns and he loses it to Brock at SummerSlam. Maybe we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at Money in the Bank. Maybe he'll do some sort of cash in, and then maybe eventually Roman will win it back. Who knows? I don't know what Survivor Series is going to look like, since they always used to do like the champion versus champion, Raw versus SmackDown. Now with the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship unified, Roman's got them both. The Tag Team Championships will probably be unified, it looks like, by the time Survivor Series rolls around. Will they make some changes to it? Maybe I'm sure they'll still do their 5-on-5 matches for the men and the women. But maybe like TLC or Survivor Series, maybe they'll have him gain it back, and they'll set the feud with The Rock, and then who knows, maybe they'll have him beat The Rock, and then after that, maybe whenever he wants to walk away, they'll plan, who will be the next champion and all that. So that was interesting. Something that looks like it may be happening. I think he might go Hollywood, Roman Reigns. That's what it looks like. He's done some stuff, obviously. He's from The Rock and their cousins, and he's been getting, some attention from there. I think Hollywood's kind of calling his name, kind of like it did for The Rock all those years ago. You've seen other professional athletes who have, retired, when they probably still had a little bit left in the tank because Hollywood called their name. And it looks like that's what's happening to Roman Reigns. So he may be leaving. I could even see it being in the next year or two. So we'll see what happens. But for now, he is our tribal chief. We must acknowledge him as he is the all-out world champion. That's all I got for you guys today. That was a great show. As always, thank you, Smooth Milk, for tuning in. Until tomorrow, so long. Have a great day.